She sold happiness in glass jars. The poster reads, "Happiness, sold in glass jars. Call today." And underneath the text was a phone number. I was walking home from a long, exhausting day of work when I caught a glimpse of a paper stamp on an old telephone pole. I took a picture of it thinking it was amusing. I was going to show my wife once I got to our apartment, but I was caught up with chores and forgot about it. Dinner, dishes, laundry, packing a snack for our daughter, putting her to bed, then putting her toys away that she'd left out in the living room. Every night, it was the exact same routine. The next day I woke up back to back with my wife. I already had to get up earlier than she did for my job, so I quietly got up, ready for my day, and headed out the door. At work, I was updating the company's latest expense report. Most days were familiar to this one. They were basically paying me to stare at a couple of computers for 9 hours a day and import a couple of numbers in the spreadsheet. I finished my work pretty quickly, so I decided to head out of the office early. It also helped that it was Friday and a lot of people leave early at the end of the week. On my walk back, I was thinking of what my life had become. I did this often. I always dreamed of traveling when I was younger. I wanted to drive across the country or solo backpack across Europe. Then I met Casey. Don't get me wrong, I loved Casey. I mean, I still do. We just don't have that spark anymore. When you meet someone and get in a relationship, whether it's meant to be or not, some of your personal life plans have to be on hold. And then that relationship turns into marriage, and then you have a baby. Then you have to enroll your daughter in a preschool. Then you have to get a better job paying and work more hours and blah, 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 blah. I'm not trying to throw a pity party for myself. I'm just saying I wasn't exactly content with where my life was. I wouldn't have referred to myself as a happy person, as I took the same route home that I did every day to work and back. I walked by the same poster I had passed the day before. I don't know why. I really don't. But I decided to call the number. I figured it would be some joke. Maybe someone just picks up the phone and says, "I love you," on the other end hangs up, or maybe it's a line to a sex worker. I had no idea what to expect. I called. It only rang once before someone picked up. "Hello," a woman said. Hi. I'm calling about your poster, your ad." "Oh, awesome," she said calmly. "When do you want to pick it up?" "Pick what up?" "The jar," she said, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. "Oh, of course." I realized then that I had left work early without telling Casey, so I could just go pick it up now. She'd have none the wiser. "What exactly is it that you're telling?" "I just told you. It's happiness. In a glass jar. Like the poster said, happiness keeps best in glass jars. They're more durable than, say, a plastic bag." Okay. Should we meet somewhere?" "For sure. I don't want you to end up being a creep or something, so let's go to a public place." The public place we decided on was a Starbucks parking lot, a little over a mile away from me. Now, I didn't really think I was going to buy a jar of happiness or whatever. I was 99% sure she was going to sell me some drugs. Maybe heroin would be in the jar. I remember thinking, oh no, happiness is probably a nickname for some street drug, and I'm going to be in a drug dealing. What if she's a cop? Am I going to be arrested? But something inside me told me to keep walking, so I did. I stood outside and texted her, me, I'm here. Her, cool, be there in a sec. What are you driving? Her, silver Camry. And as her final text came through, I saw her car pull up. She took a spot not too far from where I stood, and I could see there was no one else in the car except for my kidnapping fear of arrest. She opened the door and stood on the pavement looking around until her eyes met mine. I gave her a little nod of acknowledgement. She simply responded by waving her hand, gesturing me to come over to her car. So I did. She was a young, maybe mid-20s, with curly golden hair. Her skin was pale and contrasted with the all-black outfit she was wearing. I thought she looked like Glinda, the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz, and had to put the Wicked Witch's clothes on. Nice day out, she said as a greeting. Oh, yeah, it is. I hadn't been paying much attention to it. You were the one who called about the jar, right? Yeah, that was me. Cool. Well, here we go. She handed me a very small glass mason jar. It couldn't have been more than 2 inches tall. Inside of it was a light. Not a light bulb. Just light. It was like someone bottled up sunshine. It glowed even in the mid-afternoon daylight. It looked like a tiny sun, or like a tiny universe existing. This little crystal walled home. I was admiring it with no attempt to hide the awe on my face. Pretty rad, isn't it? What? What is it? You asked that like 3 different times. I think my answer is still the same. It is happiness. Happiness in the glass jar. What do I do with it? Keep it, she said simply. If you have any problems, shoot me a message. She started getting to a car. Oh, wait, I said. I thought you were selling this. How much is it? Don't worry, man, she said. You'll pay. She closed the door and I stepped out of her way as she backed up, then drove off. What the hell just happened? What was I holding? I looked down at the jar again. Its radiance was simply mesmerizing. I put it in my pocket and could see it glow slightly through my pants. I began to walk home. What was a nice sunny day quickly changed into a rainy one with clouds wrapping the sky. It was not forecasted to rain, or else I would have ridden the bus or the subway to work that day. I jogged home, trying not to get too drenched. I finally found shelter once I made it to my apartment building. I walked up my door and found that my key wasn't on my key ring anymore. Shit. I can't believe I lost it again, I thought. I knocked on the door and said in a somewhat loud voice, Hey babe, it's me. I don't know what happened to my key. I heard the door being unlocked from the other side of the door. Then the door opened. I was greeted by a large, heavy-set man with greasy hair and unkempt goatee. He said, I think you got the wrong door, buddy. Oh, I said, disoriented. My bad. Sorry, Have a good one. He let out a chuckle as he closed the door. Apartment number 33. I know that was my apartment. I know it was. I'd been in apartment 33 for 5 years now. But that was not my apartment. From what I could see inside, all the furniture was different. It was painted a different color. It was all wrong. I felt like I hit my head and was drugged. And that moment, nothing else made sense. I pulled out my phone to call Cassie so she could calm me down and tell me I got confused for a second. But her contact was in my phone. In fact, nothing was in my phone. No messages with her, no previous calls, no pictures. It was like my phone had been reset to its factory setting. Does that girl somehow switch my phone out when I wasn't looking? I would have just dialed Casey's number manually, but I couldn't quite remember it. I had known it by heart before, but not anymore. I needed to get back to my office. I had all my contacts backed up on my work computer. Since it was raining, I hopped on the bus, which had a stop right in front of the apartment complex. I rode downtown towards my office, the whole time staring at my wet shoes, wondering what the hell is going on. We have a key card access to our building, so only authorized personnel can get inside. I always kept my access card in my wallet. Always. But surprise, surprise! It wasn't there. I buzzed in the speaker we had for guests with apartments or employees as a backup in case anyone lost it or forgot their card. Buzz! Hey, this is Tim. I lost my card. My employee number is... I stopped as I drew my blank. My voice came through the speaker. Tim? You got cut out. What's your employee number? Sorry. What's your employee number? I can't remember. It's fine. Just tell me your full name and department. Oh, finance. I'm finance, and my full name is Tim Brooks. One sec. About 30 seconds later, the man spoke to me again. We don't have a Tim Brooks working in this building. Did you have an appointment with someone? I backed up in surprise, almost tripping on my feet again. I had been in the office an hour or two ago. What was happening to me? I felt like I was getting adjusted, but going through every stage in one day. I stared at my hands, unsure if I was in the right body. I felt like the world around me was intimidating. I wasn't in control. I was merely sitting inside someone else's head, watching the world through their eyes. Just then I got a text. I recognized the number immediately. It was that girl. The one who gave me the jar. I had forgotten all about it until I saw her text. Her. Hey, how's it going? I looked at my phone, dumbfounded. It made me so angry. She was nonchalant about it. She knew what was going on. She had done this somehow. Me, what the hell did you do to me? Her. The worst has yet to come.